So what's a complication watch? A complication is something that will bring more information than just the time, so something different than hours, minutes and seconds. There's two types of families when it comes to complications. You have one that's related to timekeeping, so like the chronograph or calendars, and you're going to have one that's non-related, like thermometers, compasses or depth gauges. So we start off discovering these complicated watches with 4 examples I have here from different manufacturers. I think we should start off with the Vacheron Constantin, the 56 complete calendar. So this is an old model from 1956, where they've taken the aesthetics of the watch, made it a little bit more modern. What's interesting about the annual calendar is that you've got all the information you should need for an everyday basis. You're going to have your day, your date, your month, and also the moon phase indication. What's also very nice about this watch is that if you turn it over, you have a little signature piece here where you've got the Maltese cross, the sign of Vacheron Constantin, that is engraved on the weight. A beautiful finish from a very, very beautiful brand. So next watch we'll be looking at is a perpetual calendar. So it's like the next stage up from an annual calendar because it indicates the leap years. So it'll also notice when a February finishes by 28th, 29th, which is quite interesting as well. You won't have to set your watch at all. We'll have a look at this sort of complication with IWC. Now, International Watch Company invented a very easy way of setting your watch, which is all done by the crown. So you can basically set all this calendar using only one function, the crown that you have here. You set it day by day and it will automatically tell if you're on a leap year, set your moon phase and set your year as well if you go over the 31st of December. So the next watches we're going to take a look at are not so much watches in complications in the strict sense of the term, but complications by design. So we start off with a complication that everyone has heard of or seen, quite emotional. It's the tourbillon. And I couldn't have shown you a tourbillon without talking about Breguet, who was the inventor of the tourbillon. Now, just a quick sum up, a tourbillon is a system that basically counters gravity. They noticed that a spring will deform itself if it stays in a position for too long, so they blocked it into a cage. The cage revolves, stops you having a spring that actually changes shape, so you actually keep an accurate time. But what's interesting about the approach of Breguet is that it's always been quite traditional. So you have a watch that's very slim. It's also got quite a few codes that are proper to Breguet, like the Breguet hands, the Breguet numerals. It's what we call in French an émail grand feu, so it's basically an enamel dial. They're very, very hard to make without break-in, so you've got about 50% loss when you build one of these. So it's traditional watchmaking in its purest form. So we finish off this topic with probably one of my favourite brands, which is Moser. They visited a new way of telling time, the wandering hours. It's a way of telling time without any hands, as you can see with the discs that you have here. So the 3 discs that you have underneath are the discs for the hours, and the black one they have above are the minutes. Moser have a signature is their fumé dials, so the green fumé that you have here is proper to Moser, and I think it's also something that makes them recognizable. As you can see, you don't have a name written on the dial, so that's also quite discreet. That's why I like the brand. People who know them recognize them straight away. People who don't will just walk by and never notice what you had on your wrist. So by taking a closer look at these 4 watches, you can understand why us watch lovers are always dazzled by these sort of complications, whether it be by design, traditional watchmaking or craftsmanship. Emotion is always a key player in why we are attracted by these watches.